Ashley Fatah, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks, Yusha. Thanks for having us.
Now, you are joining me in studio to speak about a very interesting organization, and we certainly know in Cape Town there's been a march quite recently, as I understand it, and you're going to tell us a bit more about Unite Against Corruption.
Okay, certainly. Yes, we had it was actually a picket on the 7th of August, but we are planning a march, big march on the 30th of September. Unite Against Corruption is a coalition of organizations and individuals who've come together under the banner of Uniting Against Corruption. Now, I just want to stop here and just give sort of 3 examples of what corruption is, just so that the viewer has an idea of what we're all about. There's the common view of corruption being somebody who wants to do business with government and who then pays something towards the person or people adjudicating the tender so that they're looked on favorably. So that's one aspect. The other aspect is price collusion amongst, we've had the construction companies and the bread companies, or price fixing. Another aspect is in service provisions. So for instance, in the one public meeting we had, somebody who is based in Khayelitsha in the Cape Flats was relating the story of somebody who's a wheelchair-bound person and who lives in a shack and was allocated an RDB house. On going to occupy the RDB house when it was built, he got there and found that the taxi owner had already taken occupation. And when he inquired as to why that had happened, he was simply told, well, the house is not available for disabled people. So he's back in the shack. So it's those sorts of things that we are standing up against. Yeah.
Talk to us a little bit about the picket that happened recently.
Okay, we had, I would estimate, up to 300 people at a picket on the Friday the 7th of August, drawn from communities across Cape Town. We had entertainers, we had trade unionists, we had people from communities coming to the picket. And we are happy with the numbers given the short notice that it was organized. But that is simply a start of a process.
Was there a particular incident that the picket was addressing, or was it just in corruption in general?
It was corruption in general, yes. But the date on the 7th of August was specifically because the Minister of the Police was addressing Parliament on the Nkandla issue. Yeah.
I think so many South Africans are quite frankly fed up with corruption in South Africa.
Yes.
And many South Africans feel as though they don't have somewhere to turn to, or people to mobilize with, or even just a place to get resources and information. Mm-hmm. And your organization really spans over all those issues and is a place for South Africans to voice these concerns. Correct. So tell us where we can find you, either online or in person, for the viewer who really wants to get involved or just wants more information.
Okay. You can email anticorruptioncapetown@gmail.com. If you're on social media, you can, on Twitter it's at UAC Now, and on Facebook it's Unite Against Corruption. And then there's also the website uniteagainstcorruption.co.za, and the email for that website is media@uniteagainstcorruption.co.za. And we just want to emphasize that this is not a top-down approach. In other words, we're not saying this is what we've come up with and we'd like you to be a part of that. We're saying this is the broad issue. What are your thoughts on it? What are your demands, expectations around that? Because we want to hear what the ordinary person thinks and feels and have them be a part of that process.
Ashley, thank you so much for speaking to us today.
You're welcome. Thank you for having us.